Welcome to the Hero Room. Today we're going over one of the latest, actually very hyped community creations. Actually the first community creation, Lilith the Fallen Angel. I'm hoping I'm saying the name Lilith right. And yeah, Fallen Angel.
Everybody has demons.
So she was created by the community when IronHide Studios announced that they would be taking feedback on what this new hero should look like, what they should be, and she's free. So which is great. So anybody can level her. So I'm just making this little video to make sure if you guys are probably gonna level her anyways, but this is just a little video to tell you whether or not you really should. And my answer is for fun, sure, but as a viable option, probably not. And here is why. She has 420 health. 420. Alright, so she has 420 health. And 420 health is not bad, but it is not great. I mean, compared to everyone else, it's kind of lower tier health, 420. And medium armor, which is also okay. 17 to 25 attack, which is not much at all. And like, say, Regson was 12 to 18, but he had his little power up, and 25 to 40, 23 to 34. So 17 to 25 is not much at all. Is actually very little. And she has an average attack speed, which makes up for it a bit, but not very much. Reaper's Harvest deals 380 true damage to an enemy with a 30 chance of doing an insta-kill. So, a 30 chance of doing an insta-kill is great, and 380 true damage in itself is awesome as well. But I find that it is on a slightly longer cooldown. But you can't really argue with 380 true damage and 30% insta-kill. 30% insta-kill is awesome. It's like an awesome bonus on top of that true damage. So, I suppose this is an acceptable ability. This is a good ability. I think they did a good job with this one. Soul Eater absorbs the soul of a fallen enemy and receives an extra damage bonus for 8 seconds. So the problem I have with Soul Eater is it hasn't really made a difference. Like, it hasn't made a huge difference. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. I mean, like, you absorb the soul and that makes up for your little lack of damage. But it's just not. You have to have a fallen enemy, and if you're fighting a huge boss and there's nobody else around to fight, like say one of those big guys and all the little guys are elsewhere and you're just sending Lilith to fight the big guy, she's not going to be able to become stronger. Like, she's just going to be there without her damage bonus, hopefully insta-kill him, but if she doesn't, she's going to get wrecked. Infernal Wheel creates a ring of fire for 8 seconds, dealing 192 damage to all enemies on it. 192 damage times 8 as a base ability is an incredible amount of damage. And when I first saw this ability, I was like, whoa, that is overpowered. But after seeing it in play, it feels a little underpowered. And here's why. Most of the time when there's the first wave of enemies coming toward her, she leads with the Infernal Wheel. She throws it down immediately, and they just walk right past it because they aren't even in melee range yet for her to stop them onto the fire wheel. So the programming in this was a little strange. Like, it'd be better if it was on her first attack she drops on her first melee attack, it drops a ring of fire. But that'd be without that, with her just dropping it like that, it's kind of weak. And also, it's a very small wheel. It is not by any means big, and it would have done much better if it were maybe a bit bigger. Resurrection. Lilith has a 25% chance of reviving instantly after being slain. Slain? I think they need to check that, but 25% chance of reviving instantly after being slain. Now this is the problem I had with Karkanos. Karkanos' ability was he had a chance to become invulnerable when he was low on health. Likewise with Lilith, when she's dying, she has a chance of resurrecting. At first that sounds nice, but like you have to in the first place you have to be paying attention to your hero in the first place. And if you let them die, that's probably just a stupid mistake. I mean, I make that stupid mistake a lot. And I guess it's nice for her to have a chance to come back. But really, how many times are you going to have your hero die? Like, if your hero dies like 3 times in a game, then that's already too many. And she resurrects only 1 out of every 4 times. And it's at random too. So you could go for like literally 100 times without her resurrecting once. Or you could go 100 times with her resurrecting all those times in a row. So it's really a question of chance, which I really don't like, because if it was, it's a risky chance, because she has to be dying, she has to be dead for that chance to take hold. And if that chance doesn't activate, she's just dead. And that's you have to wait like who knows how long for her to come back. Heavenly Chaos, 50% chance of calling fallen angels or a rain of fire, dealing 120 damage. Another chance ability. This one is more forgivable simply because 1,200 damage is kind of insane. And here's how it works. The rain of fire is just a whole bunch of little fireballs just shooting down and exploding, and they do so quite quickly. So that's 1,200 damage, like instantly, almost if you have them stalled, which you can do with reinforcements. So that is pretty nice. Or you can call fallen angels, which stop the enemies by themselves and do a targeted 1,200 damage. The problem with that though is that I do believe the damage is split up, so the angels themselves split up that 1,200 damage without it being an area attack, so you can only do that 1,200 damage to a single boss, which is very, if you send all the angels down, one will hit maybe a small guy who has, like, I don't know, 200 health, and that's kind of overkill for somebody that little, and then you lose a huge portion of your damage. So, what I would say about Lilith that I don't like is too much chance. There's too much chance in this. There is the 50% chance, which is okay-ish. It's forgivable, but it's not appreciated too much. A 25% chance of reviving instantly, which is horrible. I'm sorry, but it's horrible, and they really should have done something else about that. And the Reaper's Harvest. See, the Reaper's Harvest, it's a 30% bonus, so it's not really a complaint. I shouldn't be complaining about an insta-kill, honestly. But, like, as you can see, there's a lot of chance in here. And she's very dependent on chance. And maybe I don't really appreciate that. So, we are going to go into, once again, Griffin Point. So, on the topic of her early and late game, her early game, I suppose, is pretty decent. Aside from the fact that her fallen angels lose a lot of their potency in the early levels if you're using it on little guys, because I do believe the angels come down for like only a little bit and you just lose a lot of damage. And the Rain of Fire is much better. I really like the Rain of Fire on lower levels.
Everybody has demons.
And yeah, but I really can't hate on her too much. Like, in the lower levels, she also has her Wheel of Fire, which is enough to, I do believe it's enough to insta-kill in 2 ticks for most of the lower level little guys, which is nice. Like, that's awesome. But it's not great. So, I'm going to send her up here. Well, actually, I'm going to send her down here. Oh, and I forgot to mention. Oh, there's her Wheel of Fire. There was her Holy Scythe. I will probably be showing that on a different enemy. Oh, by the way, she has both a melee and a ranged attack, which is nice. Like that's actually really nice. But notice something about her. she's not getting buffed. Oh well, there's I think that was an insta kill. So see how awesome that is? That's some pretty big damage. But see, she doesn't always get her she doesn't always get that killed an enemy get a boost thing. Like sometimes she just doesn't get it, and that's a little disappointing because if she was always fighting and always getting that, that'd be so cool. See, the Wheel of Fire just completely missed because she used it way too early, but she made up for that. But I do believe, see, her with the buff, she gets 25 to 36 damage. But see, she doesn't get it again, which is a little lame, if you ask me. But here is her, well, that was Rain of Fire, which, as you can see, was kind of not sufficient. Like, it's acting kind of weird recently because it just hasn't been hitting. And that's a little lame as well. And on top of that, she has very low health. So you actually need to be microing her a lot. I mean, she makes up for the low health with her, like, with her ability to resurrect. But it's not a, like, very reliable way of surviving. See, that is an awesome use of your little Wheel of Fire, because she put it down and they can't avoid it because they're fighting militia and they're taking a ton of damage, which is nice, but like it's not great. So what would I say about Lilith? I would say she's a fun character. She is nice. I think IronHide Studios did a nice job listening to their fans. They didn't do a good job applying it. See, she has a lot of really funny quotes and really fun ones, like look into my eyes, which is Ghost Rider's quote from Marvel Comics, which is really nice. Like, they're listening to their fans. I was on the forums and I saw people suggesting these quotes, and I saw that one, look into my eyes, a couple times, so they incorporated that, and it's kind of cool. But really, the execution on herself was not great. Her first ability, the Holy Harvest, or Reaper's Harvest, was nice. Like, you do a ton of damage and you have a chance to insta. That's great. But her soul thing, where she gets extra damage, was not great. Her Wheel of Fire has a kind of buggy AI, and her different abilities just have many problems. And the Rain of Fire seems to either be bugging out or just not doing very much damage, or like just not as much damage as they say it does. So overall, you can level her, sure, but into later levels she does not do well, and into later levels you just stick with somebody like maybe Raz and Rags, who can survive a bit and stall a bit. But Lilith is not great, and she also has kind of a buggy AI where if she starts ranged attacking, she'll just sit there and ranged attack without normal attacking, and she'll just sit there and ranged attack without using any of her abilities. I mean, you can move around, but and that will stop it, but sometimes when you're too busy, she just sits there and ranged attacks when she should be using her abilities, which is not appreciated. Maybe they can fix her AI a bit, but come on, it's a new free hero. We designed this. I think we should be happy. I think we should appreciate this. So honestly, she's fun. Stick with someone better. Kind of would not recommend to use her, but if you want to have fun, then go right ahead. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.